Hi, this is Dan. I've logged into our Area 92 website as a District 5 person that's working on the District 5 meeting information in the meeting guide. So it shows up on the meeting guide app. So it says, I'm D5 user that's been set up, and I have this is a WordPress site, and the user has limited access to the website. Mostly just get to the meetings, which is uh, add-on plug-in, they call it in WordPress. But now I hit the meetings, I have access to all the meetings in my district, and I can add a new meeting and or change a meeting. And I think I want to check a meeting here. So I can click on that meeting and I get access to that, all the information on that. There's a form you fill out. Here's the day of the week, the time. It defaults to an hour if you don't put an end time. And almost everything that's specific to meeting types is a checkbox for that. But there's also a notes area here. This is where I'd put usually things that happen in our area or our district are that the third week of the month is their birthday celebration or something like that, or a speaker meeting, maybe every third month, those types of things. But you have check boxes here. It covers a lot of those. There's updates to this application, so they're doing that. There's some changes in here. In fact, I see a couple I hadn't seen before. The location information is a description of the location, the address. There's a place to put a region on, because there's some things show up regional on the app and on the meeting guide. If there are any other meetings occurring at this location, they show up here. So if this location is changing or closing, or if it was like an Alano Club that moved, that'll give you an easy way to get to and recognize what other meetings might need to change. We usually, this part gets a little confusing. It's an individual meeting or a part of a group. And you have to be careful with this sometimes. If what we found out when we went to the area level, there's a lot of meetings that are one day at a time. Is their name, or that's their group name. So we've fixed that by saying like one day at a time, Wenatchee, to distinguish between that, because it would start taking all these other meetings. Like the Alpine Bavarian has these separate meetings. And then the district number, again, we're based in Area 92. District 5, we have our own website, and that's where I started with the meeting guide app. I had 3 districts that were participating in that, and and then also you can put contact information for this group. Like in this case, Cliff is the GSR, or he appoint a contact phone number. This isn't shared publicly at all. It's really there. So what happens is somebody will send a message saying, "Hey, this group isn't meeting anymore," or it changed times or something like that, then I have somebody to verify that with. Because a lot of times they're trying to go in the wrong door of the building, and think that the meeting's not there. So, and that's really all there is to that. It's a change a meeting. That's usually what we do. But if we add a new meeting, then I click add new. I can name it. I can put the day and so on. I did a lot of videos early on about why this is so important to be able to give access to the districts, because they are the ones that are the closest to the meeting changes. And then depending on how structured your district is, we had a great opportunity for me to learn a lot of stuff, because our alt delegate is from this district, and he and I worked on learning how to do the GSO's FNV, and the process again became real active in making sure that our meetings in our area were up to date. And the first thing that became real obvious to me was the FNV isn't storing all the needed information for an app like the meeting guide, or a schedule to go out to new and old people on how to get to meetings. It doesn't store what type of meeting it is, and any of these things that change, location information details. Like I said, we have a lot of things where we get into location-based information, and there's notes about the location, which door you need to go into. If it's a church facility, a lot of times they have an alternate building, those kinds of things. So none of that stuff stored in the FNV. The FNV was, I think, generally just a way to track GSRs. So, and that's about it. It's a pretty simple app to get into and use. Basically, you need somebody with, general computer skills, general, probably online communication skills, and be able to go through this and fill this out. And like I said, the only parts of this is that I do know how the data is stored a little bit. To keep location information and anything about contact, you have to say this is part of a group. And then also you get a chance when it's part of a group to enter the district. Which then, if I don't do that in this app, I don't get access to change that when I log in as DCM or the person in the district assigned to making these changes. There's also some stuff in the tool about maybe I'm talking out of turn, but the other thing, if I did add some stuff, I need to publish it over here. If you see the mouse here on the right side, I can save drafts. I can preview what it's going to look like on the website, and it takes a little bit of time, and then it starts showing up on the meeting guide app for that day, and so on. And then that's another set of instructions on how to use that. And and some basic stuff you can move around, you can find, you can search, and so on. But the real important part about this is I can't mess up any other district's meetings. That's a reason for having these users. And also we've had poor success at having one person try to take care of this. We already burned out a webmaster a couple years ago because, first of all, he would get requests for changes. Like I was saying, a lot of times the requests are well intended, but they may not have the right information. And so you need a way to verify that. So it was getting to be a communication nightmare for a single person in a large area to make sure that what they're putting up is as accurate as possible. So this has been a lot more successful, in the discussions I've had with other people. The districts don't have to have websites, which I think is good. We have one, which is just was focused in on the meeting guide, but mostly on newcomer stuff. We have, and sometimes we'll put some business on that. And but hopefully we can keep our web presence, our search presence, more focused on what newcomers need, and make sure that they get to a meeting if they need to, or get the information they need to stay sober. So that's about it for this section, and I'll share this